Hey, welcome to Tender the Future. It's really good to see you all again. We've been away for a minute. We want to welcome you to our mini workshop on the ideas and concepts that you will find throughout our work as we look for and develop a shared capacity to tender the future. Our friend Julia has experienced a significant loss this past month. So we thought it would be a great time to talk about the connection between grief, aliveness, and this role of tenderness.
Thanks, Mariah, and so good to be with you all. So I want to just invite you to feel your feet and find your breath, whatever quality it is. Maybe it's shallow, maybe it's getting stuck somewhere as you inhale and exhale, and just notice you don't need to change anything. And I want you to just call to mind just maybe a 10% of the sensation of grief or sadness that might feel a little closer to you today. And as you invite that sensation, maybe it's a drop in your gut or a constriction across your chest or pressure behind your eyes. I want you to place a hand, whether it be on your chest or on your gut, or you can even do just light support. Allow your eyes to come onto the palm of your hands. And wherever you choose to bring some support and relationship with that sensation of grief, maybe you call it tenderness. I want you to find your other hand. And I really like to hold the back of my head and just put a little bit of pressure there. And really invite my soma, my body, and the energy around my body to recognize that in this hold, whether your hand is on your chest or your gut or your eyes and your other hand is on the back of your head, or maybe it's on a hip, that you are held. You are held not only by yourself in this moment, but you are held in community, whether it's community of family of origin or community of friendship or community of shared loss, spiritual community. You are not alone in the grief and tenderness that you hold. And when you're ready, come back to us. And I just want to share that being with this new grief of the loss of my dear friend, I've also had glimpses into the ways in which being in relationship to this grief has really given me more experience of aliveness. There have certainly been many, many hard moments, but one example was sitting around a dinner table celebrating my dad's 85th birthday, and really seeing everyone around that table as part of his community and as a part of the people he chooses to spend time with and who choose to be in community with him. And I just felt this deep sweetness and sense of gratitude. And that was really felt in like some percolating across my chest and warmth that I really felt towards this group of people, many of whom I met before. And Mariah, I would say that in the last several weeks, our interactions and connection, I've just felt so much tenderness and closeness with you. And I think part of that is that it is this grief that is actually heart opening. If we allow it to move and not to brace against it, there's a way in which it can help us connect with life around us. Um, and so, this tender process that I've been in has also just really made me curious about history and so much pain and loss and suffering that was never really held tenderly or acknowledged. And I'm really curious about what would be made possible if we were tendered by the cumulative grief that our collective body is storing.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, I don't have a direct answer, Julia, but I think it's wise to name that everyone is going to process and hold grief dependent on who they are, what bodies they're in, what stories they have lived, what their cosmologies are, and that, uh, psychologists, doctors, healers know a lot about how the brain works, how the brain processes grief, and how the body processes grief. Um, and we know that there's a myriad of reactions that happen, right? That are meant to protect the heart and the mind at all costs to avoid pain. So I want to name that wherever we are in terms of how we experience or process or move past grief, there's an opportunity with grief that we might explore. And so part of that is to explore grief that is holding you back. Could be current grief or in your lifetime or historical grief. Um, but the opportunity is to like move with it, right? To see what's there, because if it gets stuck in the body gets impacted, and the body will like manifest the grief in different ways, and that is not magical. That is just what happens. And so I think when we kind of reference the historical pain, that we can look to the ways that the ways that we have not maybe processed together. um, what is that compounding grief doing to us? And I think we're experiencing a lot of the pain right now, right?
Yeah,
Many of us always have experienced the pain from day one.
yeah.
I hope I'm not speaking too codedly, but I think there's room here.
Yeah, and maybe I would just say for white-bodied people in particular, we have done much less exploration of that historical grief that we are very much a part of
Mm,
and that our ancestors are very much a part of. And in my experience, there's deep freedom in exploring that grief and allowing it to move and responding to it.
100%. Yes. That's why we're asked to process grief, right? To let it go and move past it, not let it get stuck. Um, this is a really brief mini workshop, and grief is a big, huge thing as a human being. So, not to belittle any part of this conversation, there are lots of people exploring grief, and we're just part of lots of people, every human being that is processing. An invitation I would like to support people in today is thinking back to the dinner party for your father for his birthday, um, and that you wrote this beautiful essay for your father, and everyone got to hear that, and it got to be received, right, and it got to be heard by him, which is amazing. So I think if folks are into this, that we should just invite the practice of reflecting on someone who has loved you and celebrate their aliveness. So send them a text, write them a little note today, a handwritten note, snail mail's amazing, and just simply notice the ways that tenderness, it brings more alertness or more life to you in that reflection.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. We
Thank you.
send you the tenderest of love.
Take good care.